This is your push-up. The main muscles you're going to work are going to be your pecs, front of the delts, so front of the shoulders, and your triceps, okay? With this, the core will work as well because we don't want the hips to sag. Before we start, we're going to show you the elbow position. So Lana's going to turn around, and you'll see in her back, as she does the movement, her elbows are down at about 45 degrees, her chest is out, and her shoulder blades have come together. If I was to draw a shape between her hands and her head, it's got a nice big triangle, okay? So from like this, you've got that triangle shape there, and that's what we want to see every time you do that movement. So the nose is going out in front, and that just stops us getting into this T shape where we put some extra stress on the shoulders that we don't need, okay? So down on the floor, if you have a mat, don't be put off by the width of the mat. It might be slightly wider, might be slightly closer. You can always chuck it away if you feel like it's putting you in the wrong position, okay? Into our full plank, so feet are nice and narrow, and that's going to be harder on the core. If you feel better and more stable, wide, go there, okay? Our body is nice and tight, so hips are tucked forwards a tiny bit, and our spine is not rounded over quite, but it's not sagging in the hips. Yeah, just like that. So I start with my shoulders above my hands, or Lana starts with her shoulders above her hands, and she initiates by sticking her chest out, elbows going out at 45 degrees, and her nose going forwards to make that triangle that we just spoke about. Chest comes down and touches the floor. It comes out to meet the floor, so we get a full stretch in that pec before driving back to that top position. If you get halfway and find it too hard, okay, you can go down slowly, pop those knees on to come back up, okay, and if you need to regress past that, it's good to go to the bar, which I'll show you in a minute. Ways to make this harder, you can add a pulse at the bottom, you can add a tempo on the way down, or you can pop your hands off some plates, okay, and that's going to create some more range of motion there. All right, that is your push-up. Here's the assisted one.
This is an incline push-up. It is going to work our chest as well as our triceps and a whole lot of core to assist. So we like to set up with these guys at a squat rack or at a rig. That way we have the J hooks to kind of play around with and make it harder or easier. So the higher the J hooks in the bar, the easier it will be. As you progress, you can drop it lower and take note of the height, yeah? So when we are setting up, we are going to think like a plank position. So we're gonna come onto that bar and get our shoulders on top of those wrists. Hands are just wider than shoulder width. We're up on our tippy toes and we have a straight line from our head all the way down to our heels. So our core is engaged, we're thinking ribs down and no swaying. We can push up and out of those shoulders slightly. Then from here, we're gonna think elbows sending 45 degrees as that chest, mid-chest comes to the bar. So that's a really important thing to note here, guys, is it's our chest to bar, not our collarbones or our neck. That's where we see a lot of people go wrong. So elbows hit that 45 degrees, the body moves as one in that plank position, power up and out. You can breathe in on the way down, breathe out as you drive up. Be aware the elbows don't flare out to the side in line with shoulders, or they don't tuck too tight. We also don't want any swaying through those hips, so that's where that core comes in. So in that bottom position, we're gonna think about a triangle from our head or our nose down to our elbows, okay? So that's gonna be your perfect bottom position.